Hello, and welcome back to more of me reading my old stories and questioning what the hell was going on. So, uh, sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Still working on different. Different is also going to be a little different. Get it? Get it, guys? So funny. Anyway, today we're going to be reading another Sailor Moon story. I think I've read my other one. But this Sailor Moon story is a little different because I made this with my sister. This was a collaboration, the only collaborative story I've ever made. Uh, whoa, I didn't even realize this was 15 pages long. Okay, let's get started. I hope everyone enjoys this Sailor Moon fanfic of mine. Link to my other stories here. Tag me if you want access to any of my other stories. Chapter 1 The Birth of a Soldier. It was a normal day for Princess Rini. She got ready for school, she did her work, but what she didn't know is that she is a Sailor Scout. Also, we ended up following the continuity of the 90s English dub, the 4 Kids one. Um, and that's because that was the version my sister watched. I watched the normal version, although I was first exposed to Sailor Moon through Crystal, which I know I can hear the pitchforks, but listen, I know Crystal is not the best, but it it introduced me to the series, so it holds a special place in my heart. Diana, I'm home, said Rini to her dearest cat friend. Princess Rini, I must tell you something very important, she told Rini. What is it? Rini questioned in curiosity. You are a Sailor Scout. You are the Sailor Scout of the Moon. You are Neo Sailor Moon, said Diana. Rini's mother always told her stories of her days as Sailor Moon. Rini always dreamed of being a Sailor Scout. Can I see the brooch? She asked excitedly. It was a silver crescent at the bottom, and black on the other side. All around it, a bunch of small dots of different colors were present. Your sisters, Celine and Bunny, are also Sailor Scouts. Sailor Earth, Celine, and Sailor Sun, Bunny. Round them up, and we will help them transform as well, Rini said. Okay, so these other sisters, so there's this one manga where Chibiusa has another sister named Usako. I named her Celine, and then there's also Chibi Chibi, who is I know she's confirmed not to be like a daughter of Usagi and Mamoru, but I think back then either I didn't realize it or I just said fuck it, I don't care. They're gonna be related anyway. So yeah, Celine is Usako, aka the parallel Sailor Moon, and Bunny is Chibi Chibi. Sure, in an Rini said sure in an unsure tone. Rini had gone to the spot Diana had told her to. Wow. She and her sisters all began to transform. Moon, pink silver power. Earth, quartz power. Sun, gold power. Make up, the girls said in unison. Then an enemy appeared. He had white hair, capitalized, and amber eyes. Oh, said the Sailor Scouts, awakened again. Let's see if they can actually fight. He fired a blinding aura of light. Diana told Rini and her sisters the attacks she needed to say. Pink moon, glittering crescent. Earth, rocky lava. Sun blazing rays. When the stranger was defeated, Diana was proud. Wow, I took notes from Planet Guardians. I think this story might have predated Planet Guardians, actually. Chapter 2 Defender of Love. Rini kept wondering if there were others while she was on the swings at the park with Otaru. She started to think, one girl that is in the same class as Rini goes to school for a week and disappears for a week. Maybe she does what Rini does. Rini sometimes goes to school on Earth some days and goes to the moon some other days. So maybe that girl does that same but goes somewhere else. Hotaru started waving her hand in Rini's face. Hello, Rini. Are you okay? Rini realized she was still at the park. Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, do you wonder why a few girls are at school for a few days and just magically disappear? Asked Hotaru. Rini looked in the sky. Yeah, she replied, distracted by her thoughts. Hotaru, it's getting kind of late, so I'm gonna head home, she said, eager to maybe find more Sailor Scouts. Bye, Hotaru said as she waved to Rini. Bye, Rini said back to her, smiling. After Rini arrived home, The girl that Hotaru was talking about was sitting at her dining room table with Rini's mom, dad, and sisters. Oh, one one of Rini's mom's friends from her teenage years, and her husband, and some girl Rini had no idea who she was. Are you the girl that is at school one week and is not at school the next? Why do they keep saying that? Rini asked while she was confused about why she was in the castle. This could be an ally. Yes. Oh, by the way, my name's Juliet, I know, Juliet politely said to Rini. So, by the way, these, like, daughters, aka Juliet, are the future guardians. Juliet is the pink one. I don't remember her name. Julia looked at her mom and said, Mom, you said we were gonna be on Venus this week. Why do we need to be on Earth? I hate Earth. She smacked her face into the table. Rini heard her whispering, Why? Rini ran to her room, not knowing what to say, because she couldn't believe they go to Venus. How did they even survive? That's the hottest planet in the solar system. Then Rini remembered the words of her mom. If a girl's parent is an interstellar senshi, then she is one of your senshi. Rini went to Juliet. Diana was following close behind to help awaken her. Then a cat came out of her backpack. Juliet, follow me, said a cat. He was black with some white on him. He had green eyes. He had a crescent moon, just like Diana and her parents. Rini and Diana followed them. Juliet, take this pen and say Sears Topaz Power. Got it? He said, oh, that was the cat. Got it. I got it, Deimos. Jeez. His name is Deimos? Jeez. Sears, Topaz Power. Then Diana and Rini quickly ran away. Lady, please, transform, Diana asked. Moon Pink Silver Power. Then Sears was walking in her scout outfit. Princess Rini, exclaimed Sears. I am Sailor Sears, protected by the asteroid Sears, planet of grace, guardian of maternity. Sailor Sears, I'll gracefully destroy you. Sears said her practiced introduction. Sears stood up again. Then the guy with white hair and a guy with platinum blonde hair showed up. I am Neo Sailor Moon. I fight for love and for justice. A pretty guardian in a sailor suit. In the name of the moon, I'll punish you. I brought a friend with me today. Let's see how you can handle it, said the guy with white hair. Rena used her attack. Moon Pink Lunar Eclipse, said another attack. It alone didn't defeat them, though. Sears Heart Whip. And she had a chain of hearts that whipped the guy with blonde hair. We had found Sailor Sears. Chapter 3. Vesta of Fire. Today I walked to school with Juliet. Hotaru didn't seem to mind. Normally she would be jealous. There's a girl at school who comes to school for 6 months and then goes somewhere for the other 6 months. Juliet said, forgetting that Hotaru was there. Rini whispered in Juliet's ear. Hotaru is here. She is not a Sailor Scout, Juliet replied. Oops, sorry. Then Hotaru asked, what are you guys talking about, and why are you whispering? Rini and Juliet jumped. Nothing. Rini and Juliet decided to find that girl and talk to her. At lunch, they saw her outside for some reason, so before sitting down, they ran outside before Hotaru saw them. Rini said to that girl, Hi. She jumped. She asked, Who are you? Rini said, I'm Rini, and this is my friend Juliet. Hi. How's it going, and why are you here? She asked, super confused. We were just curious. Are you the girl that stays here for 6 months and leaves for another 6? If so, where do you go? Rini politely asked. Yes, I am that girl. Also, my name is Blazette. If I tell you my secret, you cannot tell anyone, said Blazette. We promise to not tell anyone, Rini and Juliet said in unison. Okay, so then she began to whisper. I go to Mars. My mother is the Queen of Mars, and I'm her daughter. My mom knows Neo Queen Serenity as well. Neo Queen Serenity's my mom. How did she not know that? You'd think she'd know that. Then you must be a Sailor Scout if you're the daughter of the Queen of Mars. Wait, really? I've always wanted to be one. But who's Juliet? Is she a scout too, or did you just tell her about this? Juliet said, My mom is Sailor Venus, the Queen of Venus. Then her cat, who Rini knows because her mom constantly talks about for some reason, popped out and handed a pen to her. Diana came out and said, To transform, just say Vesta Ruby Power. When they told Vesta to come with us before she eats dinner. They went, and a guy with black, messy hair floated down, silently, and attacked them with small gems that really hurt. Vesta said her introduction. Protected by Vesta, the guardian of speed, Guardian of Strength, Sailor Vesta. Vesta, fire blaze, and fire surrounded the enemy. The enemy said, I will get you Sailor Scouts one day. All the kids from inside were watching them fight. They never saw Rini, Juliet, or Blazette transform. The enemy teleported away, and the cats were happy. Chapter 4 Juno of Spring. School the next day, Rini, Juliet, Blazette, we spelled that wrong, and Tara were all sitting next to each other. They just happened to be sitting across from some girl they never saw before. Then suddenly Blazette saw a weird mark on that girl's forehead. It went away quickly, but she knew that she saw it, although she had no idea what it meant. Blazette whispered it to Juliet. Juliet, on that girl's forehead I saw a weird mark. Do you have any idea what it meant? Juliet pulled something out of her backpack. Lisa said, What the heck? Why did you bring your backpack into the lunchroom? Rini heard her and said, What are you guys talking about? Said Juliet. I stole my mom's diary from when she was a teen. Maybe will tell us about that mark on that girl's forehead. Rini just pretended to know what they were talking about. Juliet took out the book completely. She flipped to a random page. That page said on top, other stuff. Juliet read the whole page in a whisper. I forgot to write about everyone's symbols before when I first met them, so I'm doing it now. Then there were a few pictures. The pictures of their symbols are on the bottom. The orange one is mine, the red one is Mars, the green one is Jupiter's, and the blue one is Mercury's, Juliet whispered. This is my symbol. This is Sailor Mars' symbol. This is Sailor Jupiter's symbol. This is Sailor Mercury's symbol. Lisa said, The Jupiter one looks like the one on that girl's forehead. Maybe she is the Princess of Jupiter, Rini said. Later, I'm asking her. Then the bell rang. They all went to their classes. After school, Rini found her and said, Hi. Lisa and Juliet found Rini. Juliet said, Oh, Rini, you're actually going to tell her. I thought that was a joke. Wait, why are you telling her? Lisa said, You know, Rini, I hope we're not wrong. That would be so embarrassing, but who cares? Rini said, Guys, why would I joke about this? Why would I joke? Because if she is the daughter of Sailor Jupiter, that means we found another alley. When Rini looked at her, she was gone. Rini saw the girl running. The girl whispered to herself, These girls probably don't even know that my name's Flora, and they were probably going to tell me about some weird thing. Rini, Juliet, and Blaza were chasing her around. Wait, we have something really important to tell you. She turned around and said, Fine. Rini said, You know that mark on your forehead? We can tell you what it means, the girl said. Oh, please tell me, but first I just want you to know that my name is Flora. Rini said, Okay, we think it means that you are Sailor Scout and the Princess of Jupiter. And our names are Blaza, Rini, and Juliet. Flora looked at Blaza, Rini, and Juliet like they were crazy. What's a Sailor Scout? How does she not know? Is my question. She asked. Rini said, I don't know how to explain it. Then the guy with white hair came. The girls transformed. Moon, pink, silver power. Sears, topaz power. Vesta, ruby power. Flora asked, What's happening? When Flora's mom came, we were still fighting while Flora was standing there in shock. Her mom ran to her and said, Flora, go home. I don't want you to get hurt. Flora just stood there and said, I still can't believe I'm from Jupiter. Her mom gasped while Rini, Juliet, and Blazette were still fighting. Vesta, fire blaze. Sears, heart whip. Pink moon, glittering crescent. That distracted the enemies but didn't destroy it. They needed some help. Flora's mom said, If you told Flora that we come from Jupiter, tell me why you did that. What? Juliet replied, You do! It says it all in my mom's diary. Flora's mom had a weird, confused look on her face. She asked, Can I see that book? Juliet said, Sure, but the enemy are probably going to attack again soon. Flora's mom took the book. She looked through it for a second, then she found a page with a picture of her and her friends. A tear went down her face. I miss them all now. I haven't seen them in so long. Then she realized something. Flora's mom asked, How did you get this book? Juliet said. I stole it from my mom. Flora's mom turned to the last page. It said, If you're reading this, please return it to Mina now. Flora's mom asked, Your mom is Mina? Juliet nodded. A cat jumped out of Flora's backpack. It said, Flora, you need to transform now. What you need to say is Juno Emerald Power. Flora jumped. Callisto, you can talk. Callisto. Flora's cat said, Yeah, I didn't talk because you didn't know you were the Princess of Jupiter now. Let's transform. Flora nodded. Juno, Emerald Power! She transformed and did her attack. Protected by Juno, the dwarf planet of thunder, guardian of spring, Sailor Juno! There will be a storm of spring coming for you! What? Juno, Megastorm! The enemies were off guard, so that made them mad super easily. The enemy said, Oh, you're going down, to one of the enemies. All the enemies did their combined attacks. Helios power, helium power, lithium power, carbon power. The six mysteries attack. That attack really hurt. So there's six. So we paid them back. And then Diana threw to Neo Sailor Moon a stick. Lady, use the stick and say moon sparkling moonlight. Okay, moon sparkling moonlight. Earth rocky lava, sun blazing rays, Sears heart whip, Vesta fire blaze, Juno megastorm, and then they flew back to wherever they came from. The last scout they needed to find lived on Mercury. The girls thought it might be a challenge. Chapter 5, Sailor Palace. They all waited until a full moon. When the full moon had approached, all the Sailor Scouts went to the fountain. Now, guys, to do this, you all must transform, said Diana. Neo Moon Silver Power. Earth Quartz Power. Sun Gold Power. Moon Eternal Power. Sears Topaz Power. Venus Eternal Power. Vesta Ruby Power. Mars Eternal Power. Juno Emerald Power. Jupiter Eternal Power. Bring us to Mercury, they all said in unison. A giant bubble appeared around them, and the bubble started to float into space. Flora said, Jupiter, Mom, is that my real home? Her mom said, Yeah, it is. It took 5 minutes to get there. Then they were on Mercury. They landed in the backyard of the castle. There was a girl on a swing reading a book. She saw everyone just standing there. Ah, she said. She screamed so loud, everyone, even on Pluto, could hear her. She ran inside to the Mariner Castle, which they figured out later on. Out came Neo Queen Hermisui. They also learned later on. After she came out of the castle, she immediately recognized the sailors and ran to them. Serena, I can't believe you're here. Me too, Ami. I called her Ami. Serena said, It's Queen Hermisui, but you can still call me Ami. Ami said politely. Hey, we're gonna need your help. Bad guys have come back, and her name's Aqua. Ami said. Aqua needs to protect Rini, Serena said. Well, I was going to move Aqua to Earth soon, so this works out pretty well. Aqua groaned and Zoisite just chuckled and pat Aqua on the shoulder. By the way, Zoisite is a boy in this, and him and Kunzite never dated. He took away the gay. Okay, so if you watched the Sailor Moon 90s version, you remember Zoisite was made into a girl because Zoisite was dating Kunzite, even though that wasn't like a thing originally in the manga or the crystal thing. So I basically just reverted. Wait, I just made Kun or Zoisite a boy. I probably could have just kept. I don't know, kept Zoisite a girl, made Zoisite and Ami sapphic in this, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what my justification for this was, because I was a kid, and so was my sister. Anyway, Mommy decided that Aqua would go explore Earth and do some Sailor Scout fighting. So then they got to Earth. Aqua stumbled a bit because gravity's stronger on Earth, but then she got the hang of it. After walking a bit, the walking and stuff, those guys came. They attempted to strangle the parents and Celine and Bunny. Aqua transformed with the others. Moon Pink Superpower. Moon Sparkling Moonlight. Sears Topaz Power. Sears Heartwood. Vesta Ruby Power. Vesta Fireblaze. Juno Emerald Power. Juno Megastorm. Palace Sapphire Power. Palace Winterstorm. Wait, huh? She never got the freaking thing to transform, but okay. I guess. Palace Winterstorm, and they were defeated by the help of Palace. The Sailor Scouts team is finally complete, Diana said. Chapter 6, Rini's Secrets. Mutaro started to realize how big Rini's friend group was getting. She started to get suspicious, so after school she followed Rini without getting spotted. When she saw the castle, she gasped, and oh, who are you, Rini? Who are you? She followed Rini into the castle. How would she not know this? But then she got caught by the security cameras. Rini's mom was asleep and Mama Roo was on the moon. Okay, I don't know. We keep like switching back between the original and the 90s English dub. Like continuities. I'm so confused. Was on the moon, so Rini nervously crept over to the door. Otaru was too scared to was Scared to move. Rini slowly opened the door until she saw Hotaru. She asked Hotaru, "Why are you here?" Hotaru replied, "Well, our friend group seemed to be getting bigger every day, and I got suspicious, so I followed you here. Now, I just have one question. Why do you live in a giant castle? It's unfair." Rini sighed, "I guess it's time to tell you the truth. So, where do I start? Oh, I know. So, I'm kind of the, mood princess, and everyone else in our friend group are the princesses of Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury. And you know those girls that were fighting those monsters that day? Well, we are them. So there, I said it. I said it to someone who's a scout. My mom's gonna kill me. Hotaru replied, I won't tell anyone, I promise. But at school, we all gotta talk about this. Rini hugged Hotaru. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best friend ever. Bye, Hotaru. See you tomorrow. Hotaru smiled and replied, Bye, Rini. See you tomorrow. After Hotaru left, Rini went onto the computer and deleted all of that from the files. Oh, she deleted the security camera footage. The next day, Rini was excited to talk about this with everybody. She woke up and then woke up Diana. Diana said to Rini, Rini, I sense that your friend Hotaru might be one of the Sailor Scouts. Rini smiled. Which one? Diana replied, Sailor Saturn. Rini paused. You mean the original Sailor Saturn? Shouldn't her mom be Sailor Saturn, and she be Sailor someone else? I'm just as confused as you are. It doesn't make sense, I know. Rini replied. Diana, I'm just gonna bring you to school today. Diana laughed. Good joke, small lady. Rini chuckled. Joke. Diana let out a sigh of sadness. Diana hated going to school in Rini's backpack. When Rini got to school, it was a little early, so the group all talked about telling Hotaru and Sailor Scat stuff. Rini decided to show Diana the talking cat to Hotaru. He pulled Diana out of his backpack and held her out in front of Hotaru. Diana said, Hello? Confused about what was happening, Hotaru jumped. Rini put Diana back in her backpack, not zippering it all the way so Diana could breathe. Then for the rest of the morning, they chatted amongst themselves about random things. After school, 6 of them all went home. When Rini got home, she made a group chat with everyone except Hotaru and told everyone about her being a sailor Saturn. Oh, sadly, Lisa and Julia were set to go to their planets and see their dad. Oh, were they divorced? Ami wanted Aqua to come to Mercury and pack all of her things. The next day was the most impactful day yet of Hotaru's life, yet she didn't even know. It was a Saturday, so there was no school. Rini, Hotaru, and Flora all decided to go to the park. Rini and Flora, I just want to check. Okay. Rini Flora was nervous that one of those weird guys would attack, but Otaru, not knowing she was Sailor Saturn, was carefree. Suddenly, all those guys appeared out of nowhere. Moon, pink, silver power, yelled Rini. Moon, sparkling moonlight. Juno, alpha power, yelled Flora. Juno, megastorm. Otaru looked lost, like a puppy. Then another cat came to her and introduced himself. I'm Hades, your guardian cat. To transform, take this pen and say, Saturn Amethyst Power. Hotaru nodded her head. Saturn Amethyst Power. Meanwhile, on Venus, Mom, repeated Juliet. Mina replied, What? Juliet said. Bored. Mina replied, So, do something. Juliet sighed, and then she had a plan. She snuck over to the rocket, which she uses to travel from Earth to Venus. Then she stopped to decide if she really, really wanted to do that. She decided yes. She then said, Sears Topaz Power. She jumped into the rocket and put it on quiet mode and read the last page of her mom's diary, which spelt really much about how Sailor Moon defeated Sailor Galaxia. The last page always gives Juliet confidence. She directed the rocket towards Earth. The coil was broken, so it was super loud. Mia and Kunsei heard this and thought someone was stealing the ship. I didn't even remember this. Mina transformed and Kunsei grabbed his sword. They tried to shut down the ship, not know it was their daughter in there. Luckily, Juliet managed to dodge these attacks. Kunsei, what can we do to get the ship back? Mina cried. We'll have to get something else to fly us to Earth, Kunsei said. Earth to Earth! So she tried to land just on top of the middle guy's head. But then she was missed and crash landed on one of the guys' heads, just as Hotaru was transforming. Meanwhile, on Mars, Basic could sense that her friends needed help, and she asked her mom, Ray, and we're using the Japanese spelling now, if she could go down to Earth. Ray said no. Was it then asked her dad, Jada, if she could go down to Earth, and Jada said no. My friends down on Earth are in trouble. Do you want me to save them, or do you want them to die? She snapped, sorry, Blaza, let's go, we'll come with you. Ray said. She transformed for the first time, and what felt like forever, and headed down to Earth with her husband. Got to Earth when Hotaru was almost done transforming. Meanwhile, in Mercury, this awkward stuff away quickly. Frank knew excited her mother asked him with a warm smile. Yes, I'll make so many friends and be able to study more without doing too much princessy stuff. She cheered. Suddenly, Anya had a call from Ray. Ray, why are you calling me now? And calling me in how? She asked. This is urgent, Ami. Neostellar Moon is in danger, and Stellar Juno as well. I suggest we get down there now. Does Mino know too? Ami asked. I couldn't reach her, unfortunately. Then it cut off. Ami ran to Zoe's site. Zoe's site! Neostellar Moon and Stellar Juno are in danger. We'll finish packing later. Let's get down to Earth. Let's get down to Earth later and help them. Later, they're in trouble. You should get in there now, he suggested. Ami nodded and transformed. Then the two ran to Aqua, and Ami yelled, Aqua, we have to go down to Earth now. Aqua replied, but I'm not done packing. Why do we have to go there now? Go now. Zoisa replied, Aqua, there is no time to explain. Now get your stick and get on the ship. Aqua grabbed her stick and ran like she never ran before to the ship. Meanwhile, back on Earth, as Mommy, Zoisa, and Aqua approached Earth, Hotaru was transformed and ready to fight. All she needed was to know the attack. Everyone kept asking Julia why her parents didn't come. She kept replying, I don't know, but Julia knew she should have gone with her parents. Hades yelled at Hotaru, do your attack already! Hotaru replied, I will do my attack once you tell me it. Hades replied, oh yeah, your attack is Beam Killer. Hotaru screamed, Beam Killer! The enemy retreated and yelled, I will get you next time. They all cheered. Chapter 7, no title. Everyone went back to their planets. Rini went to the moon for princess reasons. Julia could ride from Aqua. They brought the broken ship with them. Julia got in trouble because she ran off without telling her parents. She was grounded. Lizette was still supposed to be on Mars for a few months or so. Flora talked with her mom, and she decided that Flora could go visit Jupiter and see her dad, and Aqua had to finish packing. Basically, everyone was on their planets for separate reasons, except Hotaru. Being Hades to school, she thought one of those guys could attack at any second. Everyone else thought she might do this. Hotaru got home from school and asked Hades, when are they coming back? I can't defend Earth on my own. Hades stood up. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you why. You were the only current Senshi that doesn't have a parent who was also a Senshi. Hotaru stared into Hades' eyes. Why? Hades started. Well, it was over 1,000 years ago when Sailor Moon was first awoken by Luna. Hotaru interrupted. Why are you talking about Sailor Moon 1,000 years ago? Hades sighed. If you interrupt, I'm never going to finish this story. Hotaru replied, okay, fine. I won't interrupt again. Hades again started. I was just a little kitten, trying to find Sailor Saturn to awaken her. Then I found out who Sailor Saturn was. Oh, and friend Luna, Artemis, and the other Senshi, but I just couldn't track them down. Hotaru asked, who was Sailor Saturn? Hades frowned. It's you. Hotaru had a blank face. What? Hades repeated. Sailor Saturn is, was, and will forever be you. Hotaru just faced down, stared into Hades' eyes, confused as ever. Then Hotaru's phone started ringing. Rini was calling. She immediately picked up. They talked for a while. Rini hung up. Rini just called to see how the Earth and I are doing, Hotaru chuckled. But Hades, what should I do if something starts attacking? Hades looked outside. Fight it, Hotaru replied. I can't fight something on my own. Hades replied. Yes, you can, Hotaru argued. No, I can't. Hades wanted to face Mom. Hotaru, if you really don't think you could fight an enemy by yourself, so please that, because she is the only one who's on her planet for unimportant reasons, and ask her to come to Earth. Hotaru replied, okay, fine. If an enemy comes, I will fight it. Meanwhile, on the moon, Mom, I want to go to Earth. Hotaru's there by yourself. Usagi, we're jumping to the 90s. What? Okay, Usagi replied, Rini, there are billions of people on Earth. No, come on, we have important business to attend to. That sounds so out of character, but okay. Rini replied, yeah, there are billions of people on Earth, but only Hotaru is a Sailor Senshi, and you know that. Usagi replied, you haven't discovered all the Sailor Senshi yet. Maybe one of them is there awakening right now. Rini beamed. There are more of us? Hey, Usagi rolled her eyes. I only know who their mothers are. I don't know who they are. Rini sighed. Can you just tell me their mothers then? Usagi replied. Their mothers are Sailor Pluto, Sailor Neptune, and Sailor Uranus. Rini looked down onto Earth, knowing that Hotaru was staring right back at her. Rini smiled, knowing Hotaru would be okay if trouble appeared. Meanwhile, on Venus, Juliet, bored as ever, walked to her room and plopped down on her bed. She started to think, just over a month ago, going to Venus was more fun than Earth, because she had no friends, but now all Juliet could think about was going back to Earth. Juliet stood up and ran outside, hoping to get a glimpse of Earth, but all she saw was a little dot just sitting there. Juliet knew it was moving a lot faster than it appears, and smiled as an even bigger dot covered the smallest fraction of Earth. She was lost in her own world, thinking about Earth. Juliet heard her mom yell, "Juliet, get back in your room. I said you are grounded." Juliet looked at Earth one more time, waved goodbye, and walked into her room. Meanwhile, on Mars, Blazek called Hotaru, and Hotaru picked up immediately. "Hi, Blazet," Hotaru yelled. Blazet replied, "Rini is doing princess stuff. Juliet is grounded. Aqua is packing, and Flora is probably running around screaming. You're the only one. You are the only one free, and I want to talk to someone." Hotaru sighed. "I'm bored. I was just about to call you, but then you called me." Blazet chuckled. "Some coincidence, huh?" "I wonder why everyone had to go today." Blazet grinned. "More coincidences?" Hotaru chuckled. "Today's just full of coincidences." "That's how it ends? Are you kidding me? I thought there was more." Okay, I made like those like weird dress up game stuff for sure. Tiny Scouts. Okay, because I remember that it was way longer than that. What the heck? It's so weird. Let me see. There's only one document. There's two folders. Okay, I guess I understand why. Well, sorry for that abrupt ending. I thought it went way longer than that, but apparently not. So I guess that's it for today. Bye!